Hi Srinivas, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine. Thank you for asking. So, can you tell us something about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Srinivas. I'm from Rajahmundry, Andhra Pradesh. I've been working in so company since 2020. We've been working on online stock trader platform. Here, my roles and responsibilities are to understand the requirement, design the test cases, and execution of test cases. And if there is any issue, and we have to file a bug and we have to verify it again.
Okay. So, how many members are there in your team?
Yeah, there are 8 members.
Okay, and how many QA members are there in your team?
Oh, we are 4 members.
Okay, great. So, everyone is working on manual testing?
Yeah. Everyone is working on manual testing.
Hmm. Okay. So, can you tell us something about the project? Like, what is the domain of the project and what are your roles and responsibilities?
Yeah. Uh, as I said, we're working on an online trading platform. Here the main purpose of the application is to create a channel to buy and sell stocks. So
Mhm.
it provides information regarding the stocks according to the market.
Mhm.
Yeah. So my roles and responsibilities are to understand the requirement and to design test cases and
Mhm.
how to execute the test cases. Yeah. And if there is any issue, we have to file a bug in a bug tracking tool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you have a release and
Yeah.
you have to prepare a checklist kind of a document just to ensure
Yeah.
that whether all the requirements are met or not. So what would be the what would that checklist document consist of?
Yeah. For that, from starting of my when I'm designing a test cases, I'll be prepared one chart called traceability matrix. So in that, I'll try to write the scenario and the test ID for that scenario. So that I can cover all the test cases, so that no functionality has been missed when I'm testing the application. So before the release, so that I can check that traceability matrix, so that I'll get an idea what I have tested and what is not tested.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you will go through the metrics just to ensure that all your test cases, all your
Yeah.
requirements are covered. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, as you were mentioning, you are working on this trading related application, right?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
now you have observed that after trading for 60 stocks for one particular account, whenever you
Yeah.
try to trade for 61st stock, the application gets
Mm.
crashed, right? So how
Yeah.
will you try
Yeah.
to troubleshoot this kind of scenario?
Yeah. When uh, So after the 61st, so it may be any code error, like when after 60 stocks, the code is not handling more than 60 stocks. There can be a code error, or it can be of any load testing also. So it can be it can we can have any load testing regarding that. So I'll try to uh, I'll try to like reproduce the bug, and for further I'll assign it to the developer.
Okay. See, whenever you get a defect, yes, definitely we will assign them to the developer. But from
Yeah,
the troubleshooting point of view, what you can try to do is it coming from one account, one user account, or multiple user accounts? If it is coming
yeah,
from
yeah,
multiple user account, then you can go with the next pattern. You can try with the next scenario is it is coming on some particular weekday, like it is coming every time on Tuesday or Wednesday,
okay,
some
okay.
particular weekday, or it is coming every day. Okay. The next
Yeah,
pattern that you can try to troubleshoot is it coming at the beginning of the trading day, let's say if the trading starts at 9:30, 9:45, so is
Yeah.
it coming at that
Yeah.
time? Maybe many people are using it, as you were mentioning about load testing, performance testing. That's why there is a lot
Yeah.
of request coming to the application, and that's why they are not able to respond. Is it like that?
Yeah.
Or is it coming at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day also there are so many transactions being taken care of,
Yeah.
whichever have not been happened in the entire day, so those will get clumped up at the end. The next thing that you can
Yes.
try to troubleshoot is, this was for related to multiple user account. Now it is, if it is coming
Yeah.
from single user account, then what you can do is you can recreate their account and you can check whether
Yeah.
it is still coming. You can also check
Yeah.
by, with respect to the stock as well, like if the 61st stock is
Yeah.
XYZ company, yeah, then it is coming like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you can also check with respect to devices. For example, it is not coming in laptop or when you are using Chrome browser in your machine, but it is coming from mobile phone. So which particular mobile phone it is there? Is it Android? Is it iOS? If it is coming from Android, then again you can try to troubleshoot which exactly version it is coming. If it is coming
Okay.
in the application which is based in Android mobile, then what happens if you are trying to do the same thing in the Chrome browser or any other browser within the mobile, right?
Yeah.
So accordingly, you can try to
Yeah.
troubleshoot. So these all things, if you will mention in the
Yeah.
steps to reproduce or this kind of detail level analysis, so developer would be able to quickly figure out where exactly the code is not working. Yes, definitely the
Yeah.
code might not be working at some particular end, so this is
Yes.
how you can troubleshoot. Okay. Okay. Have you provided any sign off on the build? Do you know what
Sorry.
is sign off? Do you know what is sign off?
Yeah. No. Sorry.
Okay. See, sign off is nothing but let's say if there is a release that needs to be done with 6 or 7 user stories, right? Then QA team needs to sign off all the user stories. So, and just to make sure that everything is working fine and release is good for the end customer or end user. So you will be providing
Okay.
them the sign off. Okay. Okay. Now let's say there is a scenario where you have to release at 7 p.m. IST. Okay. At 6:45 p.m. IST, you came to know that there is some particular defect into the application and which is impacting the end user, which will impact the business as well. How will you how will what would be your strategy for this kind of situation? What would you do if,
Okay. First,
yeah, if this happens?
yeah, first I will understand the the priority, like the severity of the bug. If
Mm.
it is affecting any major functionalities or any major majorly affecting the software, so definitely I have to definitely I have to raise a bug.
Mm. Okay, what else?
Maybe I can I have only less time, so
Mm.
that I can discuss with our leads, so what can be, what can we do uh, further.
Mhm. Yes. Then anything else that is coming to your mind?
Mm,
Okay, no worries.
no, actually.
No worries. Your second point, in which you had mentioned that you would actually discuss with the team, you will have a call with
Yeah.
them, you will schedule a call with them and quickly discuss with them. That is a very good point. See, if you
Yeah.
create a defect at 6:45 p.m., they might not be, looking at that particular defect because they might be into the, what I would say, into the process of releasing the product. So they might not see test
Yeah.
management tool, defect management tool, and all those things, and they might release at
Yeah.
7 p.m. But if you just
Yeah.
call everyone at one place, and these days, work from office has started. So just call everyone at one place, or just schedule one high priority call and discuss with them that so and so issue has been found. So what we should do as a team. So this is how
Yeah.
you have to collaborate with the
Yeah.
development team, with the product management, with the business analyst, and just communicate to them that so and so thing has been found out. So how should we go further from here? This
Yeah.
is one of the thing. Another thing can be, you know, over here again, the second important thing is how much critical that defect is. If that defect is
Yeah.
very critical, then you will have to postpone the release. If the defect is not that much critical, then you can go with the conditional sign off. Conditional sign off is there are certain conditions
Yeah.
that you have applied in your sign off. Once you put a sign off, you have some star based or quotation based statement at the end that for now, this particular scenario has not been working. It has been lately found by the testing team, and we are
Yeah.
looking into the fix, and it would be delivered in the next immediate release or in the next patch release, something like that, right? So this is how you can communicate at the best. If you find the defect at 6:45 p.m. IST and your release was going to happen at 7 p.m. IST. Okay. Okay. Now coming to the next scenario. Hmm. So you have recently joined a project, you have recently joined a team, right? And this is your first week working in that team. Now there is a client call, there is a customer call that you are also a part of, right? And in the customer call, the customer speaks about a problem that they are facing, right? You also had one of the team member who was actually working on this project earlier, but he or she is on leave, right? Now how will you handle this situation that the customer is telling that there is an issue, right? You have recently joined this particular team and one of your team member is on leave. So how will you take care of this scenario in a customer call?
Yeah, definitely. I have to understand the requirement first. What is to be done?
Hmm.
So, so you're asking if there is any bug found in that
Hmm.
meeting, or?
Yes. So he's telling about some particular defect that they have
Yeah.
found in the application. And this is an online call. And the customer has initiated the conversation of a defect
Yeah.
that has been found. Now, how will you deal with this kind of situation in the customer call? You are also a part of the customer call, and you have recently joined this project. One more QA member was working on the testing, but he or she is
Yeah.
on leave today. So how will you communicate with the customer? They also should not feel like you have recently joined the team. So, right,
Yeah.
there are many things.
Yeah, and actually, it's already 1 week I have joined, so maybe I can understand some of the requirements about the software.
Mm,
So maybe I can mm, so I can give any details regarding that defect or bug.
yes,
So
yes. Yeah. So rather than you giving the details over here, what you have to do is you have to ask them the details. Like you will have to question them. Okay, so you are finding this defect. So thank you for noticing this. But can you please tell me what is the exact scenario? Then he will explain you the scenario. Then you can ask them, okay, is this if it's a UI related issue? So is it coming in some particular browser? Is it happening for every time? Or they might tell it is, for example, they are not able to log in for one particular user. Then what you can ask is it happening in some particular browser? Is it a Citrix based environment? Is it on some particular Azure VM that you are not able to log in? So these are the various scenarios that you can put up because, and then you can also ask,
yeah,
is every user not able to log in? If any user is not able to log in, so it's a blocker, but that is not possible because you have already released and you have tested and you have certified it and now they are using it, right? So this is how you will have to, channelize his problem statement into various layers, right? Another thing is over here, if you're okay, there are two sides of the coin again. See, if you are able to understand the defect, so you can ask them the questions. If you're not able to understand the defect, then you can at least discuss internally on a call. He's telling the problem statement. You can tell them, yeah, give us some time. You get an idea from the development team or from the product management team who are already there. Or you can also have a look at the test cases that were executed by the team member. In that you can search, okay, whether this particular scenario has been tested or not. If it has not been tested, then you can tell that yes, it might be a defect. Let me try to reproduce to you, and I'll circle back to you in the next call. If it's a defect, if you came to know that this particular test case is already executed by your team member and it has been marked as pass in the test management tool, then you can clarify upfront, yes, this scenario has been tested by us on so and so particular day. It was part of a test cycle and it was working fine, but still I'll check and I'll circle back to you like that. Right. So this is how you can handle the customer calls. Okay. Now there is a scenario where you have multiple mail servers in different places around the world. Okay. And all these servers have public and private data stores. They also have their resources in the public data store, right? And the resources in the public data store, those are shared. They can be read, they can be modified by any other user, right? So how will you test this servers?
Okay. So how will I test in the sense?
Yes.
So testing process, testing process will be the same for like every requirement. So what is there any difference with public public domain?
Yeah. So public servers, the resources of the public data storage are actually shared. They can be, yeah, they are shared across the users.
So So, sorry, can could you please explain this? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you want me to repeat the question?
No, I want you to like explain the process of that.
Okay, okay. See, actually the question is having the missing requirements over here, right? So over here, the interviewer in the real-time interview, they might put up this abrupt question. It has missing details across this particular requirement, right? So what you have to do is you have to ask them, see, this requirement is not clear. So I'm not sure whether we should proceed ahead with the testing or not, because if the requirement itself is not clear, you won't be able to proceed with the testing. The requirement that I gave you in the question is about the mail servers around the world in different places. But which places and which different places, because accordingly the time zone will come into the picture. For example, if it's in India, IST time zone will play, Central time zone. If it is in America, US, then those Central Eastern US time zone will come into the picture. Then daylight savings will also come into the picture, right? So which places you will have to ask, right? Now, when I tell you servers have public and private data stores, resources are being shared. So you can ask over here, like, to what, how many, to, what is the extent of sharing the resources over here? And is there kind of a threading system? For example, you can try two threads to obtain the locks at the same time and then check that lock is granted to just one. Or you can also you can also ask, once the resource is locked, then you can make sure the other threads cannot obtain the lock, right? So what is the threading mechanism over here, right?
Okay.
Then are these servers in sync with each other? For example, if I delete an email from one of the server, would I be able to retrieve or read same particular email in the next server, or it would get deleted in that as well, right?
Yeah.
So, and what is the concurrency thing over here? For example, if I send an email from one of the server, so how will you ensure that it is going from that server only? So there are various gaps that were there actually in this requirement, and you didn't had to answer. You had to just ask, like, I'm not able to understand the requirements clearly. So this kind of thing will happen in the managerial round. When
Okay.
there are managers with you, they will give you some kind of abrupt requirements over here in the interview, and they will ask you, can you tell me the high level test scenarios for this thing? So they want to know to what curiosity level you are going into the requirements.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fine. Okay. Now you are testing an Amazon based website. This is a different scenario based question. You are testing an Amazon based website, and in the website, in the requirement, it has been mentioned that the pricing will happen. The cost of the product that you have purchased will happen as per the region that you have selected. If you are in the US, so dollars will apply.
Yeah.
If you are in the Canada region, there are two regions that your application has to support. One is US, one is Canada. If you are in US, then US dollar will be applied. If you are Canada, then Canadian dollar will be applied. Okay. Now what happens is when you are testing in US based region, you came to know that it is taking Canadian dollar into the
Mhm.
consideration. So how will you take this kind of defect discussion with the developer? The developer is
Yeah.
telling, no, it's one and the same thing, whether it is US dollars or it is Canadian dollars. But you tell, no, that in the US region, it should take only US dollars. In the Canada region, it should take Canadian dollars. So how will you have this kind of conversation with the developer? How will you try to convince them?
Yeah, definitely. We have to follow according to the requirement only. Even though if he is not accepting, we have to discuss. Even though the developer is not accepting the bug, and we have to maybe mm, we have to discuss with our product owner or business analyst.
Hmm. Yeah. So what you can do is you can attach a screenshot of the requirement document BRD,
Mm.
FRD to them.
Yeah.
You can also show them the acceptance criteria, like it should be in this particular dollar based on the region, right? And last but not the least, if they are discarding your defect, if they are rejecting your defect, you can start an email conversation keeping in loop the product managers or the business analyst who had written the requirements and initiate the conversation with them.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now coming to the next question. There is a software which has been developed for the highway system, right? In the highways, they have developed a software which actually consists of a camera that takes the picture of the vehicle license plates, right? And in that software, along with camera, there is also an OCR. What is OCR? It is nothing but it is a link server that actually processes the image and sends details to the ticketing system, right?
Okay.
And apart from that, there is an embedded system as well that sends the image taken by the camera. Okay, so what is happening? It's the software that is taking care of the vehicles that are being driven on the highways. If they are exceeding the speed limit, they will take a screenshot, they will take an image, they will send it to the embedded system. The embedded system will process that particular image, the vehicle license plate number, and they will further send it to the ticketing system. The ticketing system will check, okay, the speed of this particular vehicle was exceeding the maximum speed limit. So based on that vehicle license plate number, they will send an memo kind of a thing, that 500 rupees or 1,000 rupees memo, whatever. to the person who was driving the vehicle. Okay. So how will you test the software?
So yeah. So now we have to verify if the speed limit is exceeding that particular speed. It has to send a ticket to the vehicle owner. So that is one kind of scenario, and we have to verify whether that ticket is sent to that particular person or not, particular vehicle or not.
Yes.
That is one kind of scenario, and um, and,
Is my screen visible?
yes.
Okay. So see, there is a highway system. It has got three components. One is camera that takes picture of the vehicle license plates. Second is embedded system that sends the image taken by the camera, right? And right. So this. Then third is OCR. This OCR will be linking the server that actually processes the image and sends details to the DMV. So you can tell vehicle ticketing system over here, right? Now, how will you test this particular software? What are the high level test scenarios?
Yeah. First, we have to verify whether the camera is actually taking the vehicle license plate, or it is focusing on the any other thing. That will be the one of the high level scenario, and uh, and after taking that, is it sending to the same person or not, same linked phone number or not, like the vehicle registration's linked phone number or not. So So we have to check the quality of the image also taken by the camera. Is it
Very
visible, or
nice.
is it
Yes, that
is
was
it
the that was a good test scenario. Yeah, the quality of the image that you will test.
uh, so and then so is it if the another test scenario would be if he's violating the speed limit, so that speed limit ticketing should be sent to the owner, or it should be if he's like overtaking, it should be regarding that overtaking ticketing, or if it is like speed limit, if he exceeds speed limit, he will that the camera should send like ticketing to and the fines also should be like we have to verify whether for example, we say in the requirement we have for overtaking the vehicle, so and so price is will be fixed. So if he is overtaking the vehicle, and we have to even check, we have to also check that the amount of fine that sending uh, that to the vehicle owner, and And if it is for two vehicles, if it is a two-wheeler, the amount will be difference. For four-wheelers, the amount will be difference. And for heavy vehicles, the amount will be different. And the speed limits of these three vehicles also could be vary. So accordingly, the camera should send the details to the owner. Like
Okay. Any other scenario that is coming to your mind?
uh, yeah. Yeah, as of now.
Okay. Fine. See, now coming to whatever the question was there, that was divided in three parts, A, B, C. So whenever you are being asked to, tell the test scenarios, one of the important thing is you can break those things into
Okay.
the different portions. Now let us first focus for the test scenario for point A. So quality of the picture, right? You will test
Yeah.
the quality of the picture when objects are in motion, right?
Okay.
Up to what
Yeah.
distance your camera is covering? Is it able to cover till the maximum limit, right? What is the maximum limit that it can consider? Then quality at different time intervals. For example, in the morning, in the evening, in the during night time. Then
Yeah. Yeah.
picture quality during different weather conditions, whether it is fog is
Rainy
there,
season. Yeah.
rains are there, and
Yeah.
during the winter season in the early morning, fog is there, then rains are there. Then you can also consider uh, when the dark clouds have appeared, but still it is not raining, right?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
the interval of taking two pictures? What is the interval between them? There might be many vehicles who are violating the traffic rules at that time. Then what are the power requirements required to keep the camera running? Because it has to process 24/7. So how much power does it need? Right. Now coming to the embedded system. So embedded system, what it would do is, what is the speed of the transmission that you will test? What if the server is down? Are the pictures retransmitted? What is the retry mechanism? For example, in the first time it sent the picture, it didn't win. Will it try for the second time? Will it try for the third time, or will it just end? What if the camera
Okay.
stops working? Does it keep resending the last picture taken? Are the pictures being taken with the proper date timestamp? Because if the date timestamp are not there, the the system might not be knowing whether it is 6 months older or it is 6 days older. Right? Again, power requirement to keep that system up and running. Is the queue mechanism implemented for sending the pictures one by one to the server? Right? Then coming to the OCR server. So OCR server, what it would do is it would save the picture. So in what format it is saving? BMP, PNG, different formats you can try. Are the pictures being compressed? And what is the quality of the pictures? For example, if it is saving and if it is saving in a very high quality, then actually the server will get, the space consumption in that server will be very
Storage.
high.
Right.
Right? So those things you can test. Okay, so these are the high level scenarios. Okay, Srinivas, I am done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. Would you like to give any suggestions first?
Yeah. So, see, theoretical part is fine. When it comes to types of testing,
Yeah.
there are very less chances that you might get such kind of types of testing, regression testing, retesting kind of thing, as you are already having good years of experience.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
fine tune yourself on these kind of scenario based questions, situational based questions.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you have to think from all the perspective, from all the angle, like how will you try to test this particular application? The very first thing you have to do is, as a tester, you have to find the scenarios. You have to tell the scenarios in the interview. Okay, as per the requirements, that so and so are the requirements as we discussed for questions over here.
Yeah.
So this can be the scenarios. Second is, how will you break that application? Right. So accordingly, you have to think. Then you can think from functional testing point of view. You can think from performance, load testing point of view, and slowly and gradually you can cover such kind of scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, one more question I would like to ask.
Hmm.
So now at point of stage, will learning JMeter will help me, in future?
Yes, definitely. You should learn JMeter. It's actually a good tool used for performance testing, and it's for open source. It's free of cost. So no one will be charging, if you use JMeter into your organization. You can convince your client customers easily that it's a free open source tool. So they will allow you to use. So definitely you should learn that tool. It's good tool.
Like, is it better to learn automation or like JMeter?
It's actually good to learn both automation as well as JMeter, but go for automation first, then JMeter.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. The interview is so helpful. After so long time, I'm like giving this interview, so it is like very needed